Hey everybody, welcome back to Transport Fever 2. Hope you're having a great day today. We have some more business closures, and I think we're just probably going to get a whole lot of them because we're not using any of these industries. So like at any point, any of these things can go. I need to start using them, but the problem is just the setup cost. And I'd really like to, before investing anywhere else, I would really like to get a second train on this line because this train is very good. It's I mean, for 1866. Anyway, this train's doing really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and get time through a little bit quick here. Just take a look at how much money this makes, right? So we're pulling into the station. We have a negative balance. That's not ideal. But when this arrives, we should have a lot more money. And there's 701,000. Wow. Okay. So that made a lot of money. Now, it's going to sit here, though. And that's the ultimate problem here is that it sits here to load up a full load of fuel. And while it's sitting here, this over here is filling up, right? And that's the bulk of our money is sending it this way. So I think what I'd like to do probably is kind of get this thing on its way quicker so they can go back and get it. So I'm going to turn it around right now. That does mean that the return trip this one time is kind of empty, but I'm hoping that with the return trip being kind of empty, that the weight will be lower so it can handle the slope a little easier. It can get where it needs to go a little easier, and it can hopefully get back to the oil so that it can deliver it. And that is also going to allow fuel to stock up here for the next trip. So the next trip, when it gets back, it will be able to fully load fuel very quickly and get right back out there. So by skipping one trip here, I think I can hopefully accelerate my earnings a little bit in the short term. And the short term is really what matters to me right now because I gotta get a second train on this line. I've moved the train depot from being over here because it was really annoying over here. Just like having to time it to where, okay, I'm gonna send the train to the depot now that it's delivered its load. And then having to do that and watch it travel all the way and then finally get to the depot. And then when I'm done with it, it comes out and then it has to travel empty all the way. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna place the depot right here. This is the place where the line starts. And so it'll just whip out here, go to work, off it goes. If I'm going to bring the train back, I would just do it as soon as it drops off all of its fuel and then bring it in and then send it back to work. I think from now on, my train depots and really road depots in general are just going to be placed. Maybe not road depots because like the vehicles can travel in kind of a bit more flexibly, but I don't know why I'm highlighting this. It's over here. They're more flexible to where trains are very specific. You make trains for a very specific route where, you know, wagons could be repurposed for various different things. So this oil well just disappeared, unfortunately, and this Newport News forest is also going to disappear. And it looks like the game is also going to take away my chemical plant. I was really hoping to use this. I had a really cool idea for a route with this, but we just can't get over there right now. It looks like I got money, but I don't. By the time I build anything here, it's going to be evaporate. So it's really about getting a second line on this. I want that. Oceanside Steel Mill is closing too. Where is that? Okay, not ideal. Not ideal. But to be fair, I wasn't like planning to make the steel there anyway. I was planning to make it over here. So in Glendale. So I guess that's fine. For now, that's fine. I also would like to make steel in Palm Bay because there's a steel here. Unfortunately, we don't have this one anymore, but there's steel here, and I don't have coal really close. Right, coal is over here, but I could always get the road going. And then there's actually two separate steel plants here. So if I can find a way to bring in a whole bunch of iron and coal into this area, that would be great. And wouldn't you know it, Glendale, San Antonio, Winston-Salem, Syracuse, there is so much iron and coal right here that I'm pretty sure we can work that out and get it in here. So as long as these don't close on me, this one's kind of newly opened, so I don't think it'll close. This one might, but if I can somehow get that in here, Palm Bay could be the center for steel, and then we can distribute the steel everywhere else. But anyway, I had a really cool route for this plan that we're not gonna be able to do now, and it involves boats. It involves boats. So while we are bringing things out this way to get over to West Jordan and back with the goods, we were going to have, San Antonio was going to have a port. And it would have crude brought to this port. So we were going to have crude from over on this. I wasn't going to do it on this side of the river. I was going to bring it from over here. But one of the oil wells I was going to use is gone. So whatever. Anyway, we have this oil well here that's sitting here. So, I mean, we could use this oil well and have crude from West Jordan brought here. And so that would give us crude. I'm gonna call it crude, by the way, instead of oil. I realize that it's oil and then it's refined oil, but my brain's not going to do that. So it's crude is what comes out of the ground. Oil is what's been refined, okay? Anyway, we're going to have crude brought here. So it was going to end up being start here, bring it to there, bring it to there, bring the plastic down to the port so it can go, pick up the crude, bring it here, bring that oil back to here, and then this little leg was going to be unpaid, right? And that was going to be a nice little truck route. I think that would have been okay. Most of the reason why that's a truck route and not a train route, of course, is just because there's plastic involved in it. If it was all like oil-based with fuel, then I could use a train for this back and forth because I could just load up tankers, but not happening very well. We have 805,000 now. Is this before the train? Oh, the train just arrived. Okay, and it should be leaving very quickly here. Yeah. So I'm just gonna turn it around right now. It has loads of fuel to refine while the train is going. That was another problem, is that this thing wasn't working constantly, right? With this train dropping off the load, it was picking up all the fuel immediately and then leaving, and this thing was doing nothing. So by skipping one trip, I'm hoping that I can now keep this working more constantly, and I think that will be a bit more efficient just with time. It can get back, load up really quick, and go, and then it's also dropping it off, so we can have a more consistent. I'm hoping that this leads to a more consistent income stream. Okay, as far as trains go, if I buy a vehicle right now, I'm gonna go cheap. I think I can't quite afford. I would like to have at least 4 on this to make it somewhat worthwhile. I would like to have at least 4 on this. 5 would be more ideal. So if I can get to 5, I need 1.3 million. If I can get to 1.3 million, then we can have 2 trains on this route. Would be very nice to have. And then after this train leaves and goes that way, I can then just have this start. And then I need, so the signals here, right? It kind of works the same as workers and resources as far as I'm aware. It automatically creates zones. And so if there's another train in its zone, it will wait. And so if the train is on its way that direction, it's going to wait a very long time. And I don't really want it to do that. So I'm going to set up a rail in anticipation for doing this. We're going to set up a rail kind of in the middle here where I don't have to raise it. So like right here would be fine, I think. Right about here would be fine, I think. We're going to go like this. Okay, and then we're going to have this track is going to go like that. About there, and then it's going to go... yeah, it'll go back like that. All right, so this is going to create an area where trains can pass by each other, and I just need to make sure it's long enough. It is more than long enough. Oh yeah, more than long enough. So this is an area where trains are going to be able to pass by each other. And so we're going to have signals. It could be, you know what? Yeah, right here. And then also from this side, trains like to keep right as much as possible, so they'll automatically do that. And so we'll place another right there. And then we're going to do another one up here because, like, well, see, we have the passenger route, right? And we're not really ready for passenger trains yet. So I think I'm going to repurpose this as a pass that we could use for passenger route. So we're not going to have a passenger route here, but we're going to allow the train for now to use this. So we're going to have the track merge right here like this. And it's going to have to slow down to do that, which isn't great. So maybe we'll... I mean, granted, these trains are slow anyway, so whatever. We'll do that. And then the signal, we'll just make sure that you wait like that. And then we already have the signal there. And so this is going to create, like, again, there's two areas now where they can pass by each other. And hopefully they won't stop too much. But I think this will help. So this train just got back to the station and picked up another load of oil, and we're at 600 and something thousand. So again, we're kind of bleeding money a little bit here, but I am profitable currently, and that's why I'm kind of not doing anything at the moment. I don't want to set up anything new because we're profitable. It's working. Let's get this second train. Let's really start making more money, and then we can start venturing into more risky things. So I'm kind of getting a little bit complacent here and waiting for that money to come in. Again, I would have loved to have utilized that plastics facility, because another thing about that plastic area, right, is that there was a road there. It looks like this is gone now. There was a road here, which meant, like, all I had to do is really... Really? You put the shit in Green Bay? Oh, man, why Green Bay? All right, you know what? We can maybe make this work. I mean, if the industry stays there, we can maybe make this work. If I can bring a whole bunch of crude oil from San Antonio, right? If I can bring this down and drop it off here, we can have it refined, but also just bring the oil itself too. We can bring both. Probably from Winston-Salem, actually. If we can maybe get these two connected with this city, it's a tunnel. That's going to be a tunnel. I wonder how much that costs. We're not going to do it yet, but I wonder how much this costs. If I go under this tunnel to here, just a casual 3 million, no big deal, right? Gosh, it's just terrible. Probably here would be way cheaper, right? I mean, of course, it's way cheaper than the tunnel, but it's a little bit further distance, though. But, like, for the cost involved, that's worth it. Another way to do it, maybe. That's 66,000. That's by far the cheapest way to do it. But if I want this to be a sort of a loop, then I kind of need it to go from the other way. Oh, we have a steel mill in Winston-Salem. Oh, interesting. I still would rather have the other thing, though. But this is nice because we have steel, and we can actually start making this machines. We can start making machines. And as long as we can get those machines sent to Pittsburgh or wherever else they're needed, which right now it seems like Pittsburgh is like the only place, and Bridgeport, I guess. Machines aren't really highly in demand in this area. But if I can get them to Pittsburgh, then cool. But like the thing is, there's iron and coal right here. So just get trucks to start making steel here, and then connect this to the road, and then we just have the machines made here because we also have a sawmill here. And so I don't think that's the same train. Let me double check. I don't think the same train can do this. We're at 900. We're at 1 million. We're at 1 million, guys. It's so close. Do I do it? Do I get the second train now? We get the second train now. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to rock with very many cars. I'd only have. I'm so close to having a fourth car. Come on. I'm so close to having a fourth car. Just let me buy it. Come on, let me buy it. I was gonna need one more trip, or I could do this, but like it's not ideal. I could always bring it back and add it later, right? After one trip, I could always do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it before it's too late. So we're gonna add this train to this line. Go. So we have 2 trains now. This one's a puny train, but it can still haul its weight, all right? It's still gonna pull its weight a little bit. And it's 21 oil. It's not that impressive. We'll have it do one trip, and then we will give it another car on the way back, right? Because we actually have a lot of fuel sitting here waiting. It's like 34, 35 fuel, right? That's enough for this little train to bring it back, right? So that's fine. You know, this little train can haul at least a little bit of this. That's an oil well over there. I don't care. So we have 2 trains on this line now. Now, they should pass by each other really well, I think. So let's take a look. We should see, I believe, this train wait right here. If I set this up correctly, because I haven't done it in this game before, but I think that's how this works. We should see this train wait right here, and this one will pass right by, and then it'll go. That's the idea. So let's take a look. They're coming at each other. This train will slow down. There we go. And then you'll pass right by, and then you'll continue on your way. And this is a really flat area, so the trains can get back up to speed relatively fast. Actually, I think this one was slightly downhill, I thought. I thought this was slightly downhill. I might be wrong. So this is 12, and then this is 13. Okay, it's a little bit uphill, but it's pretty much flat. Yeah, it's pretty much flat. I think it's a slight uphill decline this direction. But it's also not fully loaded in this direction because it already dropped off fuel. So it's fully loaded always coming from here. All right. So are you still... We're not wasting material yet. That's good. I'm really worried about our budget now because that second train, I don't think it's that profitable, right? But I felt like I wanted to test it out and see. So how much money do we get for you? Can I get the train? The train, yeah. So we made some money. It wasn't great, but we made some money, and it gets right up and goes again, right? Because it loaded up and it's great. And by the time the other train gets back, it'll be ready to fully load. So when the other train gets back here, we'll have enough to add several cars to this. And so we're gonna hopefully, yep, here we go. Yep, off this goes. And so I think now, probably, I hope anyway, this one gets to keep moving. It's about timing, but like the ideal, right, is that one is leaving this station roughly the same time when one's leaving this station. And that's kind of how they're going to space themselves out. This one should, the thing that's returning should always, ooh, are you? Okay, you only have 3 left. We'll be fixing that. It's not great. Like I said, it's not great, but we'll be fixing that. We should see though that most of the time the trains will stop here to wait for the other one because this is a big section. And ideally, doing it this way with this long stretch like this so that the oil tanker, the one that has the full load, doesn't have to stop. So everyone who's coming back is the one that has to stop. That's the hope anyway. So I make this section really long that way. And if for some reason they cross a little bit earlier, then at least the one coming back here will stop so that this one can keep going. Because I don't want the full train to ever have to stop. All right, let's take a look at the passenger lines really quick because I think we have some demand here, right? I was seeing icons pop up, so I don't know. Maybe these aren't making much money. We should probably check the lines and see how much money they're making or losing. So if I'm looking at buses, I guess it's called buses. If I'm looking at the passenger lines, they're green. So it's kind of hit or miss. They're really kind of insignificant. They kind of don't matter. It looks like, really all of our passenger lines kind of don't matter. For the most part, it seems like most of them are losing money. So I could probably pull back and have less of them or less cars, potentially. We'll see. All right. So this guy's going to pull into the station. It's going to deliver almost nothing. But we need to make this train bigger, right? So what we'll do is wait for it to stop, and then I want you to go to depot. And when you know it, right as it pulled into the station, we got that oil delivery. That gives us $500,000. So now I want to edit this train. I want you to have 2 more tanker cars added to you. That's how we're going to modify you. That's done. There's 5 now. Go back to work. So we'll just gradually increase this, right? We'll gradually add enough cars on this, enough tanker cars on this to make this worthwhile. And the more I add to this, the more profitable it will be. So it needed more. And I think probably I'll add 3 more to this and call it good. And I think that will give us, actually, I think this train here has 11 cars. Is it 11? I can't tell. I guess I can tell if I go to... I thought I could tell by details, but maybe not. Loading speed is 11x. Is it because of 11 cars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, I know my trains. I know my trains anyway. All right. So again, I'm going to let this run a little bit longer. We're at 1869. And we'll see what happens in a little bit here. I want to get money, so... Let's just let this go back and forth a quick bit. I'll add more cars here if needed, which it looks like we will eventually. I'm gonna have to start actually increasing oil production again, so we can get these guys to go back to the, is this Newport? Yeah, Newport Oil Refined 1. Send more cars that way. Let's get a couple more on the Refined 2, and this will allow us to get even more oil produced, because I took cars away from the line. I didn't want to overproduce oil, but now that we have 2 trains, we're going to start dipping into the supply faster, and so I can afford to create more oil and hopefully upgrade this refinery as well in a bit. Okay, so the game just informed me that we have new wagons available to purchase. So I went ahead and got 10 of these guys. They look a little different. They can haul more. Okay, they travel 1 mile an hour faster. They're the lighter weight wagons. So they travel 1 mile an hour faster, and they can haul 5 instead of 6. So overall, we have a 25% increase in the amount of cargo that they can haul. I know 1 crude doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a 25% increase. And then because it can go 1 mile an hour faster, it's also about around 9% faster too, which just translates into being more capable. And because we have all this crude, it's kind of sitting here now, right? Because we have these different wagons that can bring it in faster, that's a big deal, right? I'd like you to just go. Can you just go? I'm gonna switch you actually. This one is gonna go to a new route. We're gonna have you. When are you? 153. I'm gonna have 153 switch to the refined route instead. So now you can just pick up. There you go. We need these bigger wagons to get the hell out of the way and to move. And so I think this refined 2. I'm gonna take a look at this route and figure out why you're doing this. So this is Lower Newport. Why are you sitting around for so long? Maximum stop time. Don't load if available. I don't want you to load anything. I'm gonna say you don't load anything. You just unload and that's it, right? So we're just gonna say that you don't load anything. You just unload and go, baby. That's what your job is. You don't load anything, okay? So we should see these guys just unload and get out of the way. That's slowing us down. I don't need that. Once you unload, just get the hell out of the way. There you go. I don't know how inefficient we've been by having them wait there this whole time, right? But I can have these new wagons, which is nice. 642,000 in the bank. We've got the smaller train. I've renamed them. This is Newport Oil Train 2. The other one is of course number 1. And that one is about to arrive at the fuel depot. So we should see well over $1 million in our account when that loads. And I haven't seen $1 million in my account in such a long time. So that is going to be a really great thing to see. And we're going to add more cars to this number 2 train. We still have quite a bit of oil in there. So we're gonna use this time to do this. So we're at 1.3 million. Let's make sure it's getting all delivered. There we go. We're only gonna lose 1. That's fine. Let's send it to depot. And from this is train number 2. No, I want the depot. Yeah, train number 2. Train number 2, we're going to modify, and we're going to add to this vehicle 1, 2, 3 more cars. Oh hell, we could just do all of them, right? 77 on both trains seems fine. We'll just modify it. We'll have 77 on both trains. That'll be fantastic. Send it back on the line. So now we are going to be pulling out essentially 77 oil from this every single time a train docks there. And these 2 trains are now the same size. So good profits are about to happen, people. I'm getting excited here. Good profits are about to happen. You can see we're already, I mean, the fact that we got up to $1 million there was really nice. And then with this train now leaving the station at 77, very good. All the way over here, right? This is already loaded up with fuel, very good. This will process it much faster now because we've been using it a lot. This has upgraded itself. So it can now process even more. And as it runs out of storage, it of course stops processing. So with more fuel, more oil being brought down here, that changes things. We're not gonna have enough fuel to fully load that train. So I'll probably do the same thing I did last time where I just load the oil and then we'll pack up what's there and then leave half loaded this one time. But by doing that this one time, we enable both trains to constantly load up really quickly over and over again. So this one's on its way back. I've extended this as well. I've used a little bit of cash to extend this. I I didn't like the fact that trains were stopping. So I figure if I extend this, and I might actually go ahead and extend it all the way to this and just merge these together. If I can do that, then there's a big enough zone here with 2 tracks where I don't believe they'll have to stop. I want to prevent them from stopping altogether. And I think I've timed this correctly now to where they don't have to stop at all. But if I still see them stopping, I'm going to look to extend this all the way over so that we don't even have this merger. To be honest, I probably should just do it anyway because it's really kind of silly to have this not extend all the way to that track. Right? I feel like it should just do that. It's close enough to where it should. So why don't we just go ahead and do that anyway? We'll just remove this section of track here. Yeah, we'll get rid of that too. And we're just going to take this track and bring it all the way. Snap it all the way this direction. Let's just get rid of this too. We don't need a signal here if we do it this way, right? Because it's all just one continuous track like this. And it's going to be a busy station anyway, so it's probably better to do it this way. Oh, it's a little bit more. Oh, the cost. The cost. Okay. Once this train reaches there, we'll have more than enough money to complete this line. And then I also don't need this signal if I do that too. So I can get rid of this signal right here. Get rid of that. There we go. And then we'll just complete this to there. That's a really interesting. Like it's so it cuts into the ground like that. But now this is much better, right? So now we have signals here to stop, and then we come up here, we have this signal to stop too, right? And so we'll stop on that side. Now this point where they can pass by each other is much bigger, and we should not have any issues at all where trains have to stop. They shouldn't have to stop. Oh, you're full. Oh, you did wait for the... okay. I didn't want you to wait, but you did wait. And so I think the next train will have it go immediately. And then at that point, no train should ever have to wait for fuel. Okay, so I think this video is probably not long, but I mean, we've added a second train. I think that's pretty productive. And now we can start laying track other places to start bringing some of the other things I wanted to bring. Like, for example, I would like to get steel going, to get goods going. And we've got 2 steel areas here. We also have a lot of fuel here, which needs to go to West Jordan too. So we could use some of this excess fuel to go into West Jordan. And I think to get an oil train, we would basically be sending the oil well, the crude. We load up on crude here from this oil well, and we'd send it down here for processing and, to get that fuel going. And then we bring the fuel back this direction. Part of me also thinks that maybe instead of doing that, we do have this new oil well here, this new oil refinery. We didn't have that before. Green Bay's coal mines. I kind of want to do something with other places and getting San Antonio involved, right? We just need to get a lot of these construction materials going. So I think the next thing I am going to do is to get this rail line to go out towards San Antonio. And we could utilize the second line, or we could get another cargo area, which is probably what I should do to start working on that. Yep. Let's get another cargo platform here, actually. Ooh, you won't let me do it on this side. Interesting. Why not? Small side building? No, like, how come I can't put another cargo... Oh, platforms. I want platforms. There it goes. Sorry. There it is. We'll put another cargo platform right here. And again, there is a passenger line here. There will be passengers here. I'm not going to abandon that. I will have passengers moving between cities. But I want to get cargo more. I think passenger rail stations are maybe not quite there yet, because cargo, you're paid by distance, which is really nice. So maximizing the speed of the train, of course, maximizes your profit and everything. So you're paid by distance, but the passengers, there's a time factor involved. And if it takes a long time to get there, then they pay you less. And so because the trains right now are very slow, I don't think that there's a whole lot of merit in setting up passengers. I think we focus on moving cargo around. Inner city transit is okay, but we've seen the budget on this stuff. Like if you see the lines, it's not doing well, right? These are kind of a money sink, to be honest. They're not really doing a whole lot. So I'm glad I didn't really invest in them all that much. I think maybe they can be more profitable once there is a rail line, because people will want to travel to the rail. So people who live in this residential area will want to travel to the other place to get to the rail, and vice versa. People who arrive will want to travel to places, right? So I think there's more merit in getting an intercity passenger rail lines once there's sort of like intercontinental travel, if you will. Then that'll work better, I think. So let's take a look at our money. We're at nearly $1 million, and that is with train number 2 already loaded and on its way with the oil, and this train is already on its way back. And again, they should not have to stop because they're all in this double rail zone here. So nobody should be stopping. Everybody should just be going right through. Very good. And then we can probably get, when passengers show up, that might change things a little bit more, right? So it makes it a little bit more complicated. So what I can do then when passengers arrive is I'll have a third line, and what we'll have happen, hopefully, because these are it's kind of weird, honestly. I almost want to change this to where the passenger line is closest and the cargo is farther away. But I'm not going to do that. So I think what we'll probably end up doing is we're going to need another rail over here anyway. So I'll probably take and create the secondary track for the pass-through for this cargo. We'll pass through here, and then this will end up being the cargo or the passenger line. Because there's really no reason for anybody to stop going this direction until we get to passengers, right? So this line can just pass right through. We don't need it to have any terminal, and then we'll have passengers, and then the rail for passengers, and then more cargo or something like it. We'll play around with this because it's not that expensive to play around with it. And we can go like this, and if I was to remove something here, I don't think I get refunded, so we're kind of locked in on that. But I could always move it. I can still move it, right? Because this is another cargo line. And then if I remove this terminal, we can still put the track there. So I haven't wasted anything yet aside from the passenger terminal. But I am looking for opportunities there and what am I going to do there. So to get to San Antonio, let's talk about San Antonio really quick. And then I think we're probably wrapping up this video. San Antonio, right, is going to be a big hub because we can make things here. We can ship things here. I think this will work, especially since it's close enough to the river to be involved with the river. What I think I'd like to do with boats, right, is I'd like to get Oceanside working with oil to make the plastic to send it over there. And so San Antonio has this refinery that we can make oil. So if I can get crude to get here, then I can get the oil to here. So what I'm thinking of doing, because I want to bring everything over here anyway, is we get a cargo harbor, right? Not a passenger harbor. We get a cargo harbor, and I could put it near West Jordan, but it's still going to be better to put it here because all the resources I'm bringing in are going to come through here anyway. So this is going to be a harbor where this can be. And I think it's going to end up being right here, okay? We place this down. Then we're going to deliver the crude from here onto this boat along with goods, which we're not going to have yet, but along with goods, we'll load that up there. Then the goods will get sent over to San Antonio, get dropped off here. San Antonio will also get delivered the crude. And then that will get processed here and then sent back down to the boat. So we're going to want to have a port. And I'm thinking probably we can do it near this road because the road already exists. So we could probably do it near this road. And we'll do it probably like right about here is probably fine. So we'll do it there. Okay. So the boat will then take it from here and drop it off here. Both resources get dropped off, okay? Then what will happen is the crude that's been transferred into oil, this oil will then get taken down over here to Oceanside so that it can be turned into plastic. And so we're going to have, I think Oceanside, probably we should put the port a little bit away from the city, but I kind of want it close by. So it probably will end up having a road that takes it. It's probably faster to do it that way. So we'll go about like here with this boat, and it'll get hooked up to the city. If I do it here, it actually gets directly, we can directly deliver. Maybe that's a better option. We just do it right here to get these guys in range. I think maybe we'll do that instead. So we'll go about like here. So the port now takes people these machinery directly in, and we can also deliver food and stuff there too. All right, so now it's a matter of just getting all these materials to get to this location. We also have some crude on this side, so it would probably be good to maybe have to be loaded up so that we can take it back to San Antonio and deliver it for processing, right? So all this crude. If we can somehow manage to get machinery going, which I'm not really into it yet, but if we can manage to get machinery going, I'd like to deliver that to Pittsburgh. I would also like to really get more food being made. And to do that, I gotta have more grain delivered to this food manufactory. So grain could be something that we ship as well. And over here on Oceanside, we have grain really accessible in 2 different locations. So one thing we could do is we ship grain from these 2 areas. We ship grain from Ocean. Oh, look, now we have new boats. Good. Oh, baby. We got new boats right as I'm about ready to use it. That's great. Let's start the shipyard. We're going to start the shipyard over here. And we're going to start it by sending grain on the boat. So the boat will take grain all the way over. It will end up... Boats can do 2 things, unless there's another boat. But boats can do 2 things at a time. So I'm going to maybe put this... Maybe I'll put this over here somewhere. I kind of want to get it out of the way, but not too far out of the way. So maybe we'll do it over here in case we want to do a different route. Yeah, we could do it like maybe over here like this. This is kind of out of the way. 56,000, 51.48. Want to do it cheaper right there. All right, so for the boats, let's take a look at what we have available to us, because I wasn't planning on another boat. So there's 2 compartments. That means there's 2 different types of things. Now this is just purely an oil tanker. So there's 90 capacity. This one here has 100 capacity and can haul everything, but it's 786,000, which is a lot more expensive. But it has 100 compartments. It has 2 compartments. Sorry, it can load everything at top speed of 16 miles per hour, and that does seem to be the fastest boat. This is a cheap boat. It can haul all types of cargo. It does 16, so it's the same speed, but it's less power and there's less capacity at 2 compartments. And then this one can haul only specific things. We do have bread here, but it doesn't look like anything can be hauled on this that's oil based, and that's unfortunate. So we are going to want one of these, and with the capacity being 100, that seems like a pretty good boat. The ongoing maintenance, the difference in ongoing maintenance may not be worth it yet. So I think we start with the smaller boat, and then if it looks like it's going to work really well, we can always get the bigger ones. But these are really big ships, and also it looks like passengers could potentially go here too. So I'm wondering, with 2 compartments, can one of them be cargo and one of them be passengers? Probably. I think probably. So there's some diversity. We could play around with that one. That's a brand new boat we just got this year, 1875. So I was originally going to go with this one, so that's what we're going to end up doing. So what I'd like to do now is we'll buy one boat here for 550. And this is going to go on a new line. So we want to get the grain. We want to get this grain brought from this farm, brought to this port. So we're going to say that there is a truck station which has everything on the left. And we can do 20 so that there's a lot of extra space here for this. And I was going to do... Man, it'd be really nice if there was like a way to, like, this road came up this way and then over. That would be really nice. We could make it that way. We could. I don't really want this to go through the town. So I'm thinking maybe we extend this road, and we could maybe bring the road out this way. It's only about 11 grand, 13 grand, I guess. We could do that, and then maybe we have it round itself out over like this. Like that. So it's a little bit closer to the grain, and also we could place this closer and still be in the catchment zone for this boat area. So we could say right about here would work, I think. It's really expensive though. Wow, that's Is it just because of the terrain or what? Very expensive. I'd like you to be a little bit closer. Yeah, so right there is going to let me do it. 78,000. It does work there. It does work there, so we could do it there. And that's in range of the port, of the harbor. So we'll go right there. All right, and then over here, we want this to be in range too. So there's gonna be a short trip to bring the grain here. It's not that long. It's pretty good actually. So right about here, that's expensive. Can we do it over here cheaper? No, it's more expensive over here. Okay, so back over here. And I think we want to load up like a lot here, but we're gonna be pulling it. We're gonna be pulling it from here really fast. So this one can be a short one actually. 60,000. Okay. There we go. We need a road depot over this way too. Let's just pop one over here. That's fine. It could be right here. And then we'll get those big wagons. Actually, let's make the line first. So this is our new line in Oceanside. Okay. It's a new sign in Oceanside. We're gonna get grain brought all the way over to West Jordan. For now, this will change. Eventually, this will change. But for now, grain is gonna be brought all the way over to West Jordan. And then the oil is going to get brought to San Antonio, so it can get delivered there, along with goods. If we can start making them, we need to hook up steel, so that's going to be later. But for now, we're just going to deliver the oil. And then this boat will wait for that oil refinery to work. We can also maybe get it to be at this oil refinery too. That's not bad. We could have had it at this oil refinery. We'll use this oil refinery for this route maybe, but San Antonio, I want things to be involved here too. So I don't know, like getting another, this port may be in a bad spot. I maybe should have put it over here instead. Can I get a refund for this still, or it doesn't look like it's going to refund me? I think it's past the point of refund now. But in any case, this is still going to work. These ports are going to be fine. And maybe not the most efficient, but it's going to be fine still. So we're going to buy some vehicles just so I make sure I have them. And the American Stagecoach, look at you. Ooh, a little bit faster, more people, less emissions. Ah, okay. A little bit more pricey, right? Of course. We're gonna buy, let's say, 10 of these, if it lets me. Yeah, it'll let me. It barely lets me, but it will let me. Buy 10 of these, and we're going to get 10 of these. We already bought the boat, right? Yes, we already have the boat. Okay, we'll buy 10 of these, and then these 10 are going to bring the grain down over to here, okay? So this line is going to be a new line, and we're going to call this Oceanside. So this is a road line for Oceanside. We'll say OCNS. I really should just make these things 5 letters long. It's not a big deal if I do 5 letters. I'm going to change all these to 5, okay? Might screw up some things, but we're going to change all these to 5. Oceanside, and then this is going to be grain to port. Pretty straightforward there. And we'll use the orange for this too. You're going to go from here to here. That's it. That's all you do. Back and forth. And that's it. And then so the vehicles that do that are going to be, we have all these different road vehicles. We're going to use some of these vehicles for the route here too, to bring this down as well. So we're not going to use all of them for this, but I think for now we'll start with maybe this many, and then ocean, grain to port. Okay, we'll start with maybe that many to just bring that down. So we should see grain popping in here, but we're not going to actually see it actually because we need a boat that's taking the grain over where it needs to go, right? So until there's a demand for the product, it's not gonna move. And there is no processing. It's on the other side of the water, the processing plant, unfortunately. So we're gonna bring it all the way down, and this is a long route, but again, if we can get it here, it's so good if we can get it there. So I don't actually have a road. Okay, hang on. I want you guys to wait. Can you guys wait? This route here that we have, this ocean grain to port. Yeah, at this stop, I want you to load all and just wait. So you're not going to go anywhere yet. So as soon as one of those trains docks at the station that it's going to, I'm going to make a road that goes over to this way. And we'll make sure that we can deliver everything the way we need to deliver it. This crude needs to get to this boat. So that's what we're going to do for now. So let's get streets. Simple street is fine for now. And we're going to want to place this, like, it's so expensive. So expensive. This is such an expensive road. Why does it have to cost so much, man? Can't you just be cheap, huh? I'm going to make it cheap. We're going to go little bits at a time to make it cheap. And if I can maybe get this to not be raised up so much, yeah, that'll work. Maybe we go even down a little bit like this. Yeah, that changes things a little bit. So we'll make this kind of go down a little bit cheaper. And play that out. Man, it's 400 grand. What is going on with it? There it goes. I was like, where are these trains? The trains are not arriving at the station like I like them to. All right, so I kind of want to go, yeah, this way, this road, and then over like this. And then that's much cheaper than it was going to be, so I'm good with that. Okay, we need the station, and we'll play that to be right about here. That brings it in to where it needs to be. There we go. And then we also want this delivery over here to happen, so we're going to put it on this 52. If I put it on this side, what is it? It's kind of the same. It doesn't really matter. So we'll put this over here like this. Okay. So now we have these deliveries too. So we're going to make another line. And this is going to bring crude to here. And I would like also... I would really like you to bring from this up to here too. So I think you're going to bring crude to here. Then you're going to bring from here over to here. Then you're going to bring that back down to here as well, I think, because we want you to bring the food back. So the food's going to get shipped to Pittsburgh too, right? So and wherever it needs to go. So we're going to bring the food back too. So I'll have you go back to this point. And then from here, we'll have the materials. Hopefully, maybe we'll get goods later, but that'll be the route for now. And this is going to be a West Jordan. So road, we'll say West JRDN. Now that's going to be 5 letters, right? Instead of WJDN, it'll be WJRDN, I guess. And then we're just going to say... I'm going to call this the port loop for now, because it's just going to be looping around the port. And then we'll have this be, yeah, you can be blue. Anything that maybe interacts with water, perhaps we make that be blue. So you can be a blue color. That's fine. Although I think the actual ocean lines should be this actually. So never mind. We'll change this back to grain to port. We'll change this back to being that color, and then you can be maybe this darker. And then the actual water route we'll make that way. So now there is a need for these things. Hopefully, we'll be sending this way. So now, if we come all the way over here, the boat. We need the boat. The boat is going to go on a new route, right? So this is the final thing to do, and then we're done with this video. We're going to set up this new line. This is going to be a boat. And on the water, we could say B for boat, or I could say W for water. I think since I'm using R for road, that's a surface we're traveling on. We can use A for air. I'm already using T for train, but I could change it to R. I can't because that's rail. So T is train. So it doesn't really matter, I guess. We'll just do B. B for boat. B for boat, and we will say that this is the ocean to... I'm just going to call this... We'll go to West Jordan, I guess. It's technically going more places, but we'll just do that. And we're just going to say that this is the river loop 1, because probably we'll have more than one river loop. So we'll just call river loop 1 for now. We're going to start at this station to grab the grain. The grain then gets transported all the way over to the over to here. Drop the grain off. So that's going to bring it to there. That's good. We're going to pick up the crude and hopefully goods eventually. Then we'll transport that over to here. We'll drop it on this station, which admittedly is not that well placed. I may move it over here, but we'll see. We'll drop it over here. And then that will get it into San Antonio. Hopefully then we'll be able to take this oil as well as anything else that we maybe have, like the tools or something. We'll make tools here. We can bring it down. That's fine. We'll then take that all the way down. I want to get a station on Pittsburgh as well so we can deliver food there. But then basically have this loop that comes all the way back here. And so that will take the oil down here. And then, of course, we'll have the plastic, which will then get shipped all the way up and back over here. So that is currently the loop. This is not a finalized loop. This is going to be this route is going to be amended over time. But for now, that's the loop. And then for this Oceanside port, what I want you to do for the start of this anyway, is I would like you to make sure that you're full and just you're willing to wait forever. Okay. So now we should see, if I unpause this, we should see, I think, grain start to get loaded in here. I would hope anyway. We should hopefully see it. Why isn't that loading? Why aren't you loading? Hang on. This loop. What? You're not a passenger ship. You're not a passenger ship. You should be loading other things, not a passengers. No. We're not doing passengers. This boat is not a passenger boat, is it? First ship arrived. Running a line in game. Yes, this should not be a passenger line. We bought the Riggy, right? That's what I bought. This right here. It has all cargo types, but it shouldn't be doing that. So let me adjust this really quick. Where is the line? Manage the line. Instead of allowing all, we are going to not do passengers. There's no option for restricting passengers too. So that's a little interesting. But I want you to load the grain. I don't want you to load goods or this or this or this or this. I want you to load I don't think any of this. Yeah, so this is what I'm hoping that you will load in this boat on this stop. Okay. And then you can unload, you know, other stuff, I guess. Don't load this. Don't unload this, and don't unload food either. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that we can eventually make food here, but I actually don't want that. I'd rather you do. This is fine. It should be fine. The way this is working right now, it should be configured correctly. So the only thing I can think of is that this isn't in the catchment zone, which it totally is. I highlight this and it totally shows up. So I should see you producing, but you don't seem to be. That's concerning. Do you not haul grain? Is that what it is? Is maybe these carts aren't the right carts to haul grain? These vehicles, can I see? No, you can haul it right there. You can totally do it. So, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna figure this out. I want to see this working by the end of this video. So I'll be right back. Okay, I figured it out. I think all I did was I took the boat and I told it to just go to the loop. I just said go to the next stop, and then I told it to go to the next stop and then come back. And I think by doing that, something triggered because this cart now has some grain. I would like it to have grain faster. This is clearly not doing it as fast as I would like, but at least we have something here. And I'm hoping that this means we can now load it, although it's taking forever to happen. This is definitely not producing it as quickly as I would like. But at least these vehicles are just sitting here doing nothing instead of actually putting in mileage. I really don't know what's going on with this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this take it and take its route, because as soon as I let this boat leave the port, this thing starts to deliver more grain. I don't quite get that, but okay. So let this go. What the heck is going on here? Yeah, see, now it's gonna deliver it. It's gonna do it, but it only does it, right, like when this boat is not waiting It's almost like I have to send it on its way. And this is really expensive to maintain. So I kind of need it to do things. We're already down 55 grand on this route right now. So now we have grain finally being taken where it needs to be taken. It's possible that I have too many of these carts. So maybe I'll have this one go back to the... Let's have this one go back to the depot for now. And so I'm hoping, right, with this boat being so far away now, if I turn it around, let's just turn this around really quick and have this come back to the oceanside port now. Because again, it's supposed to take it from here, which it can now. It can do it. There's 5 here. I need to get to 70. But then this boat, oh, there you go. This boat can now come back, and when it travels up the river, it'll come all the way over, right? And it's going to drop off that supply here. There is already one cart making this port loop. It's not going to be great, but there's already one car making this just to kind of keep that to where, yes, we have demand. And then over here, I really am considering moving this. Over here, the only reason I'm keeping it here is because there's a chance to bring stuff from the quarry over here too. Right, to get there, because there's no quarry over here. So I need to bring stuff from this port, from this quarry, over to the construction materials, and then that can get dropped off. And of course, once the construction materials are built here, we put that on the boat too, and that gets dropped off in San Antonio. So there's, again, I'm kind of back and forth on this, but I think it's really one of those things where I can look at it and say, does it really matter though? And I think later on, it probably will be proven that it doesn't matter quite as much. So, are we loading this or not? See, man, this is a lot slower than I thought it would be. I figured these farms were going to produce a lot faster than they are, but it's okay. We probably could get a second farm. There's another one over here, so I could get a second farm running, I guess. So why don't we do that too? Buildings, truck station, right, same thing. And we put another truck station over here in this area. Close enough, hopefully. Wow. Yikes, okay. So put one right there, right? And then we can just say that there's another loop. We could take this, not the river loop. We want to go to the ocean right here. This grain to port loop, right? We can take this route. Just do it kind of like this, right? We can take and make a new line, do the same thing. Oh, it didn't copy. Okay, fine, whatever. R, ocean... And then we can say grain to port 2. All right, and then this one, same deal. We'll make it like this lighter color, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then we have it start from here to here. All right, so that just brings more grain in from the other farm. That way, at least we keep that other farm going too. That's a lot longer distance, but I'm gonna do it. And then we'll just get a couple more vehicles. Again, these should be able to haul grain. We'll get like 3 more vehicles on this, and we'll put those vehicles to work. So we'll say that we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put you on grain to port 2. Actually, let's put more of you on grain to port 2. That's a really long route, so we'll do that. And then you 2 can go grain to port. Hopefully, grain just gets made faster. I want it to get made faster, so we'll see. And then this boat is just sitting here, right? It's going to sit here until it's full of grain, and then it will start its route. And I'm hoping that by the time all these, wagons and stuff can bring it over here. That's going right through the city too. We'll change this really quick. Let's get the street to come up like this. And then we'll have it come over like that. And then now they can go around the city. They don't have to... Well, I'm hoping anyway, they can go around it. So let's see if we go to grain to port 2. Yes, now they'll use this road. That will keep the wagons out of this area. And I think it also speeds them up a little bit too. So we should be able to... It does, because these are the last wagons, and now they're actually not at the end. They're kind of getting themselves sort of in the middle there, so that's good. All right, so I think we can see at least that the route is going to work. Grain is going to get delivered to this, and eventually we'll be having so much grain in here that we'll get more boats, and we'll hopefully be able to get even more food because of that. And then that food can then also be sent down the river and can be delivered to Pittsburgh. And that's one way to have more cargo, because at the moment, we really don't have a whole lot for this one boat to do. That's why there's only one boat. But we really don't have a whole lot to send this direction. But we're going to have more to send to this direction. Look at all this. I love this. I'm loving this. I hope you guys are too. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Sorry about any cuts that I might have had, but this was going to be too long of a video, so I had to do it. But here you go. Transport Fever 2, baby. We're quite profitable now, and we can finally start expanding into other markets, getting even more profit from those markets. And we have a little bit more flexibility. I like this part better. We have more flexibility now to where if we set up something that's maybe not profitable or we make a mistake, there's a bit more forgiveness now, just because we're profitable, right? Because we have something that's stable and working, and over time, Newport will grow to need even more. See, this number, their needs is even going up now. So it's 51 instead of that 42 it was before. And then I bet Wichita wants over 100 now. Yeah, 111 now is what they want. So definitely have a higher demand because there's more higher supply. These places are growing, increasing the demand for it, which is just going to make this refinery even better. And then this can level up. And then I'm very hopeful that this will level up eventually too. But we'll see. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.